It's storming. I had to show you this big, huge thundercloud that's over our house. It's not a house, it's an apartment. But look at that thunder. How you gonna look at thunder? I mean, look at the storm cloud. Do you see that lightning? Did you see it? I love storms. It's a rainbow. I made a wish. I said a prayer. And I'm gonna get it. For us. Pretty rainbow. That's a blessing. It's 1:44 a.m. and I am in here doing stretches. Watching NYPD Blue. Like, why are you up, ma'am? I am up having an existential crisis. Honestly, I can't get it out of my head. Am I doing enough? Am I pushing myself enough? It's like, how much is too much? I'm trying to balance my bipolar with my ambition. My ambition wants me working out every single day, writing more often, and reading more often. And it's like the things that I want to do the most are the things that I avoid the most, and I don't understand that. Am I self-sabotaging? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And then I don't want to push myself too hard. I've worked very hard to be consistent. That was something I could never do. And I've finally been able to do that. I've finally been able to nail down a routine. But it's beginning to not be enough. And a major part of me, like 75% of me, wants to push myself harder. Like, push myself. Because I'm not happy with where I'm at because I know that I can do so much more. And there's still so much more that I want to learn. And it's like, I feel like I waste so much time every day not doing the things that's going to push me further towards my goals. I have to restructure my life, basically. I'm just trying to figure out, how hard do I push myself? How much do I how much time do I give myself to make these changes? I get go with the flow, but I feel like going with the flow too much will cause you not to take action. I'm having to find out how to push myself in my own mind. I'm not just my own support system. I have to be my own cheerleader. Like, I have to be my own reason. And as my daughter loves to remind me, I'm so emotional and I take everything so personally. Well, we got into it tonight because I got in my feelings. And I was like, yeah, and. Because, you know, my kids like to be, oh, you so this, you so that. Oh, you so emotional, you so emotional. And it's just, I'm like, okay, and that's how I'm built. Like, I have to make that work for me. Reinventing myself. You can reinvent yourself at any point. I've done that so many times. I had something really, really traumatic happen to me. And then I woke up and I was just a totally different person. The person I was before had her heart broken so bad that she ceased to exist when I woke up the next day. Spirit whole ass gave me a new name and I got it tatted on my neck. And that was what got me through that period in my life. Like, I'm so bold now because I've had such brazen things done to me in horrible ways. Horrible, horrible ways. I've seen some really gnarly things and bloody things, and it's not okay. But all that trauma makes for really good art. But right now, what I need to do is exactly what I've been telling my kids to do. Been in my book, not as much as I'm supposed to, but I've been in the book. And I was trying to find the part in here where it was talking about people being mirrors. But even outside of this book, I know that when I'm identifying something in my kids that they need to change, while I'm pointing a finger at them, I'm also pointing one at me. And if everyone that I come into contact with in life is a mirror, then that means that there's something that I need to fix as well. So I've been telling them to tighten up, but there's some things I haven't been tightening up, like my stomach. I've lost weight in a lot of places except for there, and there's some very specific exercises that I could do, and if done consistently, they would be gone, and that would be really cool. So there's that. I want to record more music. Well, while I'm saving the money to go to the studio, I can just be writing new music. Why are you not doing that? You love music so much. Why do you run away from the things that bring you the most joy? I have to figure these things out. I'm so interested in psychology and why people do the things that they do. I've always been interested in this, especially abnormal psychology, like people who took other people's lives and things like that. Because my ex-husband was like that. And a large part of me admired his ability to do that because I felt like, okay, if he can take lives and he can protect us. But that was such a young way of thinking. Like, I would never, I don't see it that way now. It was very toxic relationship with him. And I think I struggle with that a lot too. Like, I really need to start channeling my emotions. I think I just figured it out. Okay. When I make music, it's about what I've been through and how I feel about it. Revisiting that stuff is very, very traumatic for me. I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my nerves. I feel it in the deepest depths of my heart. It's very, very painful. And even when I recorded my last song, No Fear, I got so emotional, not just recording it, but like hearing it, finally hearing it and hearing the pain in my voice and just get the visuals that came with those tones. Like, when he was mixing down my song, I had to step out. It just hurt so bad. And he just kept playing it over and over and over again. I just had to keep reliving that trauma. But I just figured it out. I'm avoiding dealing with my emotions because me making music is me having to face myself and how I feel about these things that I try to not think about. And that's why I watch so much YouTube. Because before it was the drugs to escape dealing with my emotions. And media has become my new addiction because it is a socially acceptable, easily excusable way to spend your time, especially if you're watching educational stuff. Like, you don't need to spend 10 hours a day on YouTube. I don't care what you're watching. I cannot wait to talk to my therapist about this. But that's what it is. It's going in the journal. If it ain't written, it ain't real. This is my biggest manifestation tool. Other than the fact, when these are equally important, the fact that I believe in myself, thinking about what I want, and visualizing it, and writing it down. And then the last part is the action. And that's how I get stuff. Face your emotions. And so now it's like, I gotta come up with, it's like, what do I have to come up with some military plan to not run away from my emotions anymore? I feel like it'll just take like a mental tweak in the moment to realize, okay, what do you really want to do right now? Oh, I want to go read that chapter of that book. Oh, I want to check out that beat that I downloaded last week. Let's go do that. Because now it's, if you're running off to YouTube, you know that's probably not what you want to be doing. Because most of the time when I'm on there, I'm like looking for something to watch and everything is boring. Like, I only want to see the people that I watch, and they don't really post that much. So when they don't post, there's really nothing on there. And like, I know that, but I keep refreshing the page thinking that like something new is gonna pop up. Is this not madness? Oh my God. And see, these are the things. I'm so glad that Apple put that little thing on the iPhone that tells you how many hours a day you spend on the phone. I don't want to tell you how many hours it said that I use my screen. But in all fairness, a lot of times that is me shooting footage and editing and stuff like that. Like, I really don't be on my phone like that anymore. Especially not since I had to get rid of Call of Duty so I can have more space on my phone to make these videos. I miss my game. Imagine that. All of this stress has been caused because I would not face my emotions. Okay, so now what I can do is make that my total focus, is processing your emotions. And I feel like we should start from the most traumatic thing that's happened recently. Process your emotions. I want to start from ghost dying. For those of you that are new, that is my ex-husband, who's dead now, who died from an overdose. Exclusively. That's what we're going to do. And that's all I'm going to focus on, is processing my emotions in different ways. Either through my painting or my sketching or my making music or my reading or any type of form of expression, or the most important part, prayer and meditation, because meditation is the main thing I've been running from. Oh my goodness. And I'm just, oh, I'm a water sign, I can only meditate in water. Girl, you're running from yourself. Sit down, sit it down, sit down, sit it down. You can do anything. Oh, okay. Back to the book. This is what it says in the Universal Laws and Principles Governing Life book says. Nothing is impossible. Never think there is anything impossible for the soul. It is the greatest heresy to think so. If there is a sin, this is the only sin, to say that you are weak or others are weak. Well, I don't know if I completely agree with that, but it gives me something to think about. I have the ability to change these behavioral patterns because I'm the one that's stopping me from being great. Instead of sitting stuck and frozen, unable to move forward, is completely within my control because I'm doing it to myself. I can remember when I used to be so depressed, I couldn't even get out of bed. I was just such a horrible mind. I was always high, I was always depressed, I was always crying, I was always chasing after the kid's dad. I was always like worrying about him cheating on me. I was always trying to be perfect. I was trying to homeschool kids. I was trying to cook meals. I was trying to make music. It was just, I was never good enough. I never felt good enough. I was never made to feel good enough. There was so much opposition in my home, and I tried. I really, really tried. The drugs prevented me from seeing clearly, moving correctly. I missed a lot of stuff. The kids ended up getting like injured, caught up in our stuff because I couldn't be present. You can't be present when you're on pills. I was using the pills because I'm like thinking that it's helping me have energy and get everything done, not realizing that I'm making more of a problem than I am being a solution. But because I was so tired and so overwhelmed and had so much responsibility, I thought that the pain pills that I was prescribed from a car accident, I don't know if it's because of my bipolar, which I was not even thinking about back then, didn't even realize was what was going on with me at the time. Pain pills were acting kind of like antidepressants for me. Like, I would be able to stay up for like a day and a half and just clean and like reorganize the house and just, and before that I had been severely depressed and malnourished just because I was depressed and stressed out and couldn't eat, and I ate drugs. That was my primary diet, so it was a lot. And see, those are all the memories that I tried to suppress. And they end up coming as intrusive thoughts. And when those intrusive thoughts pop up, I want to numb them out by, let me go watch something on YouTube. Let me go get in the shower. Let me go watch something. Let me get up and move around. When really what I need to be doing is processing those emotions. Which for me, I feel like I could write about them in that moment. Maybe spit a verse, put the music on, or maybe paint a picture I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure this out. I am the school of me. Figuring out me. I can do this because me repeating the same behavioral patterns every single day, it's not okay with me. The court of fury is not pleased, and I want more. I want more from myself, and I want more from my family, because my kids feed off of me, and I want them to be great, and I don't let them mess around. I'm on their tails, so I need to be on my own tail. I need to be my own parent. Which, speaking of parents, I ain't gonna tell y'all that. I'll tell y'all that later. Thank you for spending time with me today in Fury World. If you want to check out my music, it's available on all music streaming platforms worldwide under my artist name, The Fury of Abyss. I love you, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.